Hello and welcome to the Abundantly Favored podcast, where faith meets mindset, gratitude fuels growth, and your words shape your world. We're your hosts, Jenny and Shelley, two sisters, wives, moms, and lifelong encouragers who believe God has richly equipped you to live an abundant life.
Each week, we dive into real conversations about mindset, faith, purpose, and the power of speaking life. Whether you're in the car, on a walk, or curled up with coffee, consider this your weekly dose of encouragement.
Abundantly favored, walking in grace, carried by mercy, held in His place. Abundantly favored, chosen and free, overflowing with love for all to see.
Hey, good morning, or maybe it's not morning when you're listening, but hello.
Hello. Welcome back.
Yes, we are so glad you guys are joining us again. We want to dive right into the scripture. So our scripture for today is 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 9. But he said to me, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Okay,
Love it.
so
Love it.
you might be thinking, okay, where are you going with this one? Well, today we are going to talk about one little word that causes a whole lot of stress. Are you ready for it?
Lay it on me.
Okay. The word is should.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Probably not the word you thought of, but think about how often you use that word. I should clean the house. I should call my friend. I should exercise more. Maybe I should have my life together by now, or even I should be more patient. Maybe I should be further along. I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you
And
think, Shel?
honestly, Jen, it is amazing how one little word can carry so much guilt. And
Yes.
what's funny is that many of these expectations we have on ourselves, they're not coming from God. They're coming from comparison or perfectionism,
Maybe
right?
social media.
Yep. Or even past
Yeah.
versions of ourselves, right?
Ooh, yeah.
Our expectations we created years ago, and maybe they just no longer fit us anymore. So today, like Jenny said, we are going to be talking about how to lower our shoulds and make room for more grace.
Oh, this is going to be good. But I have to ask,
Yes.
Shelley, what is the funniest or most ridiculous thing that you've shoulded about yourself recently? Can I say that? That you've shoulded?
Sure. I would say, I'm a teacher during the school year. And so my summers, I have more free time, but I still feel like I should be up and busy all the time. And I feel guilty if I sit down and read an actual physical book a lot of times. Like I want to listen to one while I'm doing the other things. So I guess for me, I feel a little guilty for relaxing.
Mm.
What about you?
That I totally relate to that with the whole book thing too, that I feel guilty for that for sure. What about feeling guilty for not answering a text immediately? Like
Oh my
for
gosh.
me, I have this
Yes.
system, it's a quote unquote system that if I know I need to respond to it, I won't answer it. So I remember I haven't responded to it,
So like you won't
which
open it?
correct. So
I
it
do that
still looks,
too.
do you?
But then it gets buried. Like I've had some that get buried then, and then like a week later, I'm like, oh my gosh, I never responded to so and so. But
Yes, but then on
that's how it
your
goes.
home page or whatever, where you see that your text message icon and it says so
Yes,
many unread texts, I like that to be zero.
I do
So it's
too.
still yes, but if it's yeah, it's an issue. I know. So if you text me and I haven't replied, I know I need to, but I haven't opened
Same,
it. Yes,
same.
so
Yes.
guilty.
I want to give you the proper time and attention to respond back. And if I'm right in the middle of something, I do the same thing, Jen. That's good to know.
Yes,
Good to know.
yes.
One other thing I feel guilty of is not getting enough done on the weekends on a Saturday. And
Mm,
I usually have a list a mile long, and I'm better about being okay with what doesn't get finished, because I do have the
mm,
mindset that God will help me get finished whatever needs to get finished this day, but still my list is long.
Yes, I totally feel that too. Or what about like for us? Okay, so my family just went on vacation last month and I really was feeling guilty for not being productive on vacation, but I did because I brought my laptop. I had all these expectations of things I wanted to do, but I think a good thing is I stopped myself. It's like I am with my family here. Like we got
Mhm.
undivided attention time with just us, and it was absolutely amazing. The trip was. So I actually did not feel guilty. I did have to get
Good
some
for
things
you.
done, and I got them done, and there were great pockets of time where I did that. But when that happened, I
Right.
put it away, and I'm like, let's be together, which was
Well,
fabulous
and I know you were doing that because you and I usually text or call each other daily, sometimes several times
several
a
times.
day. And I had to like really restrain myself and realize you were on vacation. I'm not going to bother her with it. So I fire hosed her when she got back with everything we've been working on. But I knew you were
Yeah,
being intentional with your family because you weren't texting me, you know, and I thought this is good
yeah.
that she's with her whole family and I didn't
But
want
you
to
know what would have been
bother you.
fine if you would have. You totally could have.
I know,
Yeah.
but I was kind of taking your lead too. And when you weren't like initiating any texts or anything, I thought, okay, this is good. She's doing what she should be doing. She's enjoying her family time. So that was good.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes,
Perfect.
yeah. So today we have 5 things that we want you to think about when you find yourself shoulding yourself. Okay. So
Mm,
the first thing that we want you to think about is who told you that? So I think
mm.
one of the most important questions we can ask ourselves is who told you that? So when you hear yourself say, I should be further along, or I should have this figured out, or I should be doing more, or I should be checking those things off the list on a weekend. Just really pause and ask yourself, says who? Right? Because
Yes.
many of the standards that we're trying to meet weren't even given to us by God, right? Maybe they came
Mm,
from social media. You follow somebody on TikTok and they're whipping out all these recipes all the time, or they've organized their whole house, or maybe it's family expectations or culture or just comparison. Maybe it's a
mhm,
younger version of ourselves too.
mm.
So, like, I shouldn't probably be trying to do P90X like I did in my 20s, you know, like it's intense. But there are other things I
Why
can be
not?
doing now. There are other things I can be doing now. So
Yes.
some of us I know are still measuring ourselves against goals that maybe we set 20 years ago, right? But we're in a
Mhm.
different season now. And maybe God isn't asking us to be everything to everyone. And maybe He's just simply asking us to be faithful right where we are, right? So,
Mhm.
one thing I want everyone to think about or kind of to ponder is what expectations are you carrying that God never actually gave you? So think about
Oh
that.
my gosh. That is
What
so good.
expectations are you carrying that God never actually gave you? The list
Okay, if
is
you're
long, I'm
driving
sure.
right now, yeah, you need to go back to this because that is huge. That's a really good one, Shell. Okay,
Yeah.
so number 2, perfection is a moving target, right? If you
Mhm.
think about that, it's like, oh my gosh. But have you guys ever noticed that perfection, it can be impossible to catch, right? Or it is.
Yeah.
You finally clean the house, then it gets messy again. You reach a goal, then you create another one. You accomplish something you've worked so hard for, then immediately you focus on what you haven't done yet. Perfection keeps moving. And really, you guys,
Mhm.
because it keeps moving, it can keep us exhausted. The enemy loves perfectionism, if I can say that word, because it makes us feel like we're never enough. No matter how
Right.
much we do or how hard we work, no matter how much progress we make, there's always more. But God
Mhm.
never called us to perfection, you guys. He called us to faithfulness, which
True.
is huge when you think about it. That man, that just really takes the weight off your shoulders, I would think for sure. So for this,
Yeah.
what I want you to think about is what's something you thought that would finally make you feel caught up, but it didn't. So I kind
Mm.
of said that weird. So something that you thought, hey, if I get this done, I'll be caught up, but it didn't make you feel that way.
I think that is life in general when you're raising kids and you're trying to keep your house
Mm,
clean. I
mm.
remember having little kids and the house seemed to be always a mess. And I told Rich one day, I said, I feel like I am out scooping snow and you guys are on the roof throwing down snow, like scraping the roof up. I said, it's like a never ending thing. Like, I mean, and that's life. Your house always is needing to be clean. But I always would think if I could just get this area organized or cleaned or whatever, then I will have arrived. And so I
Okay,
would
so
get an oh, go ahead. I
no.
was just gonna say I would get annoyed when like everything was in place and then somebody would come through and just like mess it up. I should have been stricter about saying the kitchen is closed. Nobody's making anything, but
Mm,
I wasn't. And there was
yeah,
this
hindsight.
constant, yeah.
So you mentioned the house. I have to share really quick. So one of our babysitters that we had when she was in high school, our house was always a mess, like toys everywhere. And I remember her showing up thinking like, or I would say to her, I'm like, I'm sorry, the house is a mess. I'm really sorry. Well, she's a mom now, has all these kids. Her house is impeccable all the time. And I said to
Ooh.
her, like within the last 6 months, I'm like, yeah, do you ever stop and think about like how destroyed our house was when you keep yours so clean? And she's
What's
like,
her
"Oh my gosh,
secret?
your house wasn't that bad." I know, but it's funny. I think of that. I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" But you're just when you're in that stage, you're just trying to get through life and
Oh my
get
gosh,
on that
for
date night.
sure. For sure. That is so true. It was always a whirlwind of stuff.
Hmm.
Which even now with just the two of us at home, I feel like you kind of fall into this like, oh my gosh, like how is the counter full of clutter when it's just two of us? Like we can't blame the
Yes,
kids anymore. It's on
yes,
us.
yeah.
All right. So the third thing that we want you to kind of think about and ponder is um, grace is meant for you too. So what do we mean by
Mhm,
that? Well, most women are incredibly generous with grace toward everyone else. So if a friend
mhm,
makes a mistake, we understand. It's no big deal. If someone forgets something, hey, we give them grace, right? We encourage them if they're struggling. But when it comes to ourselves, I don't know why, but it always seems to be a different story. We are really quick to criticize ourselves. We judge ourselves way harsher than anybody else would. We replay our mistakes over and
mm,
over. We just sometimes can be a little bit too harsh and beat ourselves up and we expect more from us and we demand more from us. But so why is it so much easier to extend grace to others than to ourselves? And we have to
mm,
really realize that the same grace that God offers everyone else is available to us too. We just have to
mhm.
accept it. So, something I really want us all to ponder is would you talk to a friend the way that you talk to yourself? Like, boy, you're
Oh
not
my
getting a whole
gosh.
lot done. And boy, look at that messy house. And boy, no, right? So, that is an area that I think we all can work on, right,
Yes.
Jen?
I'm wondering as much as we're talking about messy houses if people are like, "Man, I need to come and check out your houses." So that I promise it's
Don't. Please
yeah.
call first. No.
No. Well, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah. Okay, so the
Jenny's house
fourth
is
top
always looks good. Jenny's house always looks good.
well, hmm, we'll talk about that in a little bit. Okay, so number 4, you are allowed to be a work in progress. There's your permission,
Yes.
right? So you guys, somewhere along the way, many women started believing they should have arrived by now.
Mm,
Okay. By this age, or maybe this stage, or this season, even, we thought we'd be more confident. Maybe we thought we'd be more patient. Although it's interesting being empty nesters, I felt like totally lacked patience when my kids were little. And I look at other people
hmm.
and admire how they can parent their kids, but we are our own
Right.
worst critic, right?
Right.
Maybe we thought we'd
Hmm.
be more organized or more secure. And when we're not, we feel like we failed. But you guys, growth doesn't work that way. God isn't finished with us. I said in a previous episode, if you are still on this earth, God is not done with you yet. And that's actually the
Hmm.
good news. You are allowed to still be learning. You're allowed to still be growing. You're even allowed to still be figuring things out. So, I have a fun question for you, Shelley. I
What's
want you
that?
to share something you're still learning in your 50s that you assumed you'd have mastered years ago.
Ooh. Um, Probably the art of organizing. I don't know. That might be
Mm,
the thing for me is I feel like I always used to say to myself, I am an organized wannabe. Like I really want to be organized. I'm just and now I've kind of stopped saying that because if I'm an organized wannabe, it means I'm not. So I'm trying to
mhm.
retrain my brain into being more organized. But I know like for years I have always had this giant to-do list and I'm really optimistic as far as what I think I will accomplish in a weekend. And one time had this huge list and Rich comes walking by and he's like, "Oh, what's that? Like is this what you want to accomplish?" And maybe it was in the summer even. Like, "Is this what you want to accomplish this summer?" I'm like, "Oh no, this is my this weekend list." And he looked at me and he's like, there is no way. I mean, it was practically like paint this room, build an addition, stain the deck. I mean, it was like crazy. But in my mind, I'm like, I could do it, and I get a lot of energy in the beginning and then sometimes tend to fizzle out. But so I
Yeah.
think I would have thought I would have had everything figured out, closets in order, all of that taken care of. And I'm working on it. I'm a work in progress, and that's
Yeah.
okay.
Okay. Interesting that you talk about closets. So I do have a confession to make. So, okay, talking about clean house, my house typically is clean. Like you can walk in, and even if I think it's
Hmm.
dirty, people will be like, oh my gosh, it's clean. Just don't open my closets. My closets are a disaster, and thank the Lord they have doors on them. It's funny because a few years ago, a friend of mine came over and she helped me go through my master closet and just get rid of a bunch of clothes. And what she said to me, she's like, and it's so true. She's like, I never would have thought looking at Jenny Duncan that your closets would look the way they do. So there's my confession.
You're
I thought
human.
my yeah, I thought my closets would be all organized and figured out. Or do you ever do something where it's like you can't find something because you put it in a super important place?
Oh, of course.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
mine.
Yeah.
That is
Well,
that is totally me.
yeah. Well, and my closets, like in our spare rooms that were the kids' rooms, they're full of all of their stuff. And I told my youngest daughter, Molly, I'm like, before college starts, you need to make sure that these closets get cleaned out because you have things from junior high in there that I mean, you're never going to wear that again.
Yes.
And so I understand now when our parents would always say, "You kids need to come home and clean out your closets. Like we want to use them for other things." And we were like, we don't need our prom dresses, but we didn't really want to throw them away. And I get
Yes.
it now. So I'm sorry, mom
Uh-huh.
and dad, that it took us
Yeah.
way too many years it's embarrassing to say how many years it took, probably 20 to get our
Yeah.
stuff out of there. So
Okay, they
sorry.
are listening to this right now
I know.
laughing.
I
Like,
know they are.
you loving it. Love you, mom. Love you,
And
dad.
payback, I mean, hey, we're getting it with now with our own kids. So we understand. We understand.
Awesome.
All right. So number 5 of things. I don't know if we've been numbering these or not, but
We have.
I think this
Yeah.
is number 5
Yeah.
that we really want you to think about. So here it is. What if you're already enough for today? You're not
Mm.
perfect. You're not finished. You're not done growing, but you're enough for today. Really let that sink in. You're enough for today. Think about how much pressure would disappear if we really stopped trying to earn our worth. So, what
Mm.
if God isn't waiting for us to become a better version of ourselves before he loves us? Because
Mm.
he's not, right? What if he loves
Mhm.
us right here, right now, in this season, with our imperfections, with our messy closets, right? With our questions, our messy houses, our imperfect lives. What if we just stopped trying to prove ourselves and started receiving God's grace instead? So here's what I want
Mm.
everybody to ponder. What would change today, or what would change, sorry, if you believed you were enough for today? What would change?
That is a great ponder. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, so this wouldn't be a podcast episode of ours if we didn't give you a weekly challenge.
Oh,
Most
yeah.
of the time we do. So we've got another one for you. Okay, so
Mhm.
this week, right, pay attention every time you say the word should. Okay?
Or
When you
think the
catch
word
yourself,
should. Yes.
yes, yep. When you catch yourself saying it, stop and ask, says who? Right?
Hmm.
Who says that? Then ask, is this expectation coming from God or from somewhere else? You're probably going to be surprised how many of your shoulds don't belong to you at all. Right,
Right.
Shell?
So true. So true.
Yes.
So maybe the goal isn't to lower our standards, but maybe the goal is to lower the pressure
Oh my gosh, say that
because
again. That is
maybe
so
the
good.
goal isn't to lower our standards, but maybe the goal is to lower our pressure. So God never asked us to be perfect. He never asked us to have everything figured out, right? He never asked us to carry the weight of the world and impossible expectations. What he asks us for is to be faithful, one day at a time, one step at a time, one choice at a time, one closet at a time, right?
Okay, okay.
All right. So this week, we're going to stop the shooting all over ourselves. All right. We're going to trade
Mhm.
guilt for grace, pressure for peace, perfection for progress. And guys,
Yes.
remember, you don't have to earn God's love. You already have it. And that's more than enough. More than
Oh, I
enough.
love it. Yes. Well,
Yes.
if you thank you guys so much for joining us today. And if you have liked this episode, please like it, share it with others. And actually, Shelly and I have a huge goal of growing our listeners. So it would be a huge help and a favor to us if you would share this episode with at least one person and ask them to listen to it.
And subscribe if you're watching it on
Yes.
YouTube.
Yes, and remember to follow us on all of our social media channels and check out our website, abundantlyfavored.com. And we have to say again, we have merch like this fun little mug here, our Abundantly Favored mug. We have t-shirts, we have sweatshirts, and that can be found at abundantlyfavored.itemorder.com. So thank you guys so much for joining us today, and do not should on yourself.
That's right, because always remember you are abundantly favored. Have a great week, everyone.
Goodbye.